Alright guys, this is going to be a video about the Dpower camping stove. I have it in my little box here, even though I have unpacked it and used it quite a bit already. So I'll just put it out of this little box, and has a little manual, which we won't need. And it comes with this little sack that you can pack it into when you're not using the stove, which is kind of nice, so you don't get anything dirty in your pack. Pretty cool little sack. And this little piece is the piezo igniter that was on there. As you can see, it just makes a little spark, and that can be used to actually turn the gas stove on. But I removed it just because I always carry a lighter or a fire steel, so I didn't want this actually attached to the stove. So I removed that to save a little bit of weight, even though it's not going to be a lot, as this stove is going to be weighing around, it says 146 grams. So it's not ultra light, but it's still fairly light, and it's actually a really nice stove. So as you can see, it's got 3 little legs that you can unfold down hinges, so just like this. And then it's got the tube leading to to the gas attachment, I guess. And that's just like you turn on this little thing to open it, and then to close it, it goes clockwise and counterclockwise to open it. So just like you would expect, really. And then on the top of it, it's got 3 little legs that you can open up as well, so that you actually have something to put your pot on. Now, this stove is actually really well made, it seems to me. I haven't really experienced anything that I thought was flimsy on it. I'm not sure that if you have a big pot and you're making stuff like oatmeal and you have to stir it, I'm not sure if this would actually be able to take that stress, just because if you have it standing like this on the ground and then you put a pot on it like this and you try to stir it, you'll put like force again, like coming onto the sides of it, and then I think this might break. So I'm not sure exactly how strong these joints are, if the tier is going this way, but as long as you only have the force coming down like this, like from a pot being heavy, I think that's fine. And I'm pretty sure it actually says how much weight it would be able to handle in this little manual as well, which I haven't really read into. I know that I just used this particular stove on a 4-day trip, so 3 nights, with a pretty big group. We were 7 going out, and all we had was this one gas stove, and we made we made most of our food in the bonfire at night, but then we would make coffee and tea using the gas stove when we were, like, during the day when we were hiking, and then we would also use it in the morning for our oatmeal. And since we were a lot of people, that was a pretty big pot that we used, and it worked really well actually. It didn't take this gas stove a long time to actually get the water to a boil, and it didn't take a long time to actually finish making oatmeal in the morning. So that was really nice. Also, we would have coffee in the morning, so that was something we also used this stove for. And this stove is super cheap. I'll try to see if I can find a link for it, and then I will put that in the description for you guys. Now, looking back, I'm still really happy that I bought this stove, but I would probably only use it for bigger groups, like with the one that I just went on a trip with, where we were 7 people in total, just because it is quite heavy because it's got the tube. So getting something that would attach directly on top of the canister would probably work out better in that case. if it was like for solo use, I think getting something that would just attach right on top of the canister would make more sense. The nice thing about this one, however, is that if you get those like really long gas canisters, then you can still use this because you just attach it and then you can like put it somewhere else on the ground away from your stove, and then you also don't have to worry about getting a right or specific size gas canister, because if you want a gas stove that you can attach directly on top of the gas canister, you want to have a gas canister that has a broad base, which you don't really have to worry about with this one, just because it's got the 3 legs and then it's just quite stable in the ground. Like you can see it, like, well, this is not actually good. I can't really show you anything now because this is on my bed, so it's a soft surface. I know I won't be able to place it on the box. That's too small. So anyways, yeah, this was a really cheap camping stove and it works really well. And as you can see, that's the max power. It's 3000 watts. I have no idea if that actually makes sense to put this on here, because that's kind of hard to really get a grasp on how much 3000 watts actually is. And I have no idea, just because I have nothing to really compare that to. I don't know what else to say about it. I think that's pretty much going to be it. I guess the 120 grams of gas per hour is pretty important to know. That is the gas consumption. And also this is probably going to be when it's fully open, I assume, because otherwise this wouldn't really make any sense to write. But I mean, I haven't really tested any of this, so this is just, if you wanted to see those stats, you got them right here. And other than that, all I can say is, oh, I have one thing to add actually, which is one of the, maybe, like, it's one of the worst things about the stove, in my opinion. And I'm not sure if this is going to be different if you buy one, but I think this little split that opens the valve on the gas canisters is a bit far down. So that means that even if when you just open a little bit, it will actually let out quite a lot of gas. So it's hard to get it to simmer. But I'm not sure if that's just me having issues with that, because I mean, if you close it all the way, it will close completely and it won't let any gas out. So maybe I'm just not being gentle enough when I'm opening it, because it is kind of hard to turn it in the beginning and then it loosens up a bit. So maybe you just have to be really gentle when you open it in the beginning. But I think it's hard to like get it down to a really low temperature and just do simmer control with it. And maybe that's also just because I have mainly been using this when I've been going solo. So that has been with my 1 liter pot. So that makes a difference. On this trip with 7 people, we used a pretty big pot. And obviously that made it a lot easier. And that's another thing, as you might be able to tell just from like comparing it to my hand. The actual burner is actually pretty big on this one. So that means you get a pretty good distribution of flames. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video actually. I think I have been rambling on for too long now. I hope you enjoyed my little review of the Dpower camping stove. And yeah, oh sorry. And definitely check this out if you're interested in buying something cheap. Maybe just to get you started, this would probably be a decent option. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please do leave comments below and maybe even thumbs up if you like this video.